Sound a bullet train up there. Not too many more of those left in my videos. Anyway, I just walking along just now, and I was thinking about something that happened this morning. It's my last Monday. Goes another bullet train. That one's headed from Tokyo down to Kyoto or beyond. This morning was my last Monday, and at the school where I work, the principal does his morning address over the PA, or the closed circuit system there. And this morning he asked me to, he said he was going to tell the school that I'm leaving. And that's kind of filtered around. It's kind of the way it's done here in Japan. You don't talk about these types of things until the appointed time. And then you just kind of let it happen. You don't talk about things too early. Japanese people are more, they're more mature in that way. I admire, that's one of the many things that I admire and will take away from the Japanese, is the sense of holding in emotions and particularly restraining actions that might be prompted by emotions in order to ensure the harmony and the proper unfolding of things. It's a very mature, very impressive way of being that the Japanese have. Something that I lack, but I'm trying to develop. Although at 50, there's probably not much more time. What I've got is what I've got. But anyway, so this morning was the morning that the principal decided to make the general announcement to the school that I was leaving. And he told me, he prompted me, he coached me ahead of time or told me ahead of time that he wanted me to talk, and that he asked me to talk for a long time. So, in keeping with that, I did. And just before I went to the mic to talk, I received the most interesting coaching. I was given a prompt or a recommendation to cry, which I kind of just brushed off. I mean, I was a little nervous going around in the audience, going in front of the audience, in front of 400 kids and teachers and my peers and all the various and sundries. So I didn't think much about it. Now, what happened was, I'm very excited about what's going on. And I gave the best, I talked for maybe 3 to 4 minutes, maybe 5. And I spoke in English. And I spoke in the way that I speak to my kids, in a way that I expect that they can make cans over here in this factory, canning factory, 24/7 they work. Pachinko parlor over there, just for anyone that's curious. But I spoke in the way that I speak to them in class, so that I'm hoping that they'll get 50 to 60% of what I'm saying, or something like that, and get the general gist of it. It comes of being a father, where father of a daughter who speaks Japanese as her first language, whereas I teach her, I communicate with her with an understanding that she can get by, not understanding everything that I say, but by giving her the natural English, she'll gain to become comfortable and familiar with the way that we speak, native speakers speak. So I did the same with my kids, although the speed was measured down a bit. And it was emotional, but it wasn't the type of emotion that would bring a tear to my eye. It was the type of emotion that would enliven my speech and bring a smile curling on either side of my mouth, and maybe the smile lines showing up. And I realized, as I closed off the speech, that I probably had not delivered just what a Japanese person in the same situation would do. They would probably be displaying more along the lines of sadness at the pending separation, and more words associated with the decoupling of a relationship or relationships, one and many. One with each individual and many with the collective. And I didn't do that. Mine was more of, I talked about the things that I learned from the Japanese in being here, the qualities of character of society and culture that I plan to take back and remember and even apply in whatever way I can to whomever will listen, maybe teach a little bit. The Japanese are a refined people, a very, like I said, culturally mature people with a great quality of character, an incredible selflessness, and a determination that is unrivaled in my experience. These are astonishing things. And I learned a lot here, and I tried to emphasize those things, that I came here as a visitor, I spent these years here with the school, and I learned a lot, and now I'm going to take those things back, and I wanted to thank them for being I actually said it in so many words, in exactly those words. I said that I was here as your teacher, but you were also my teacher as well, applying that to not only my fellow teachers, but the students, of course, who taught me so much in the childish wisdom that only the young seem to be in possession of, or at least if not just in possession of, but maintaining the ability to express it. But I closed off in a very happy note, in a very upbeat note, and optimistic note. I closed off as I do 3 times a week an address to the group, and I always close off with a very enthusiastic recommendation to go home, do your homework, eat a hearty meal, have a great bath, spend some time with your family, get to bed early, and tomorrow will be another day to take on. And that's how I ended. And I think that afterwards, my principal was a little bit disappointed that I didn't cry. And in fact, then I went to the staff room where I found out that while my speech was going on and going over the PA thing, that people were talking about it, and they were actually, someone had suggested that they go to the broadcast room and prompt me to cry. That, you know, to do it bright, I needed to cry. And now that I think about it, you look back, and Japanese people, when they do this type of thing, they cry. It's a very common thing. Separation breeds a sadness, as it does with anybody. But I think maybe in my own culture's spirit, maybe perhaps a lot of it is more just my spirit. It's less about the separation and more about the transition. Really a commencement. Yeah, like it's the process of moving on. And for me, that's more of a that's 2-part celebration meant to 1 part sad recollection. So I can't help but contain my enthusiasm and bubble over a little bit on the sides, even though perhaps I should be show a little more remorse. So, is that a cultural thing or an individual thing? I think it's a little of both. But in any case, I'm going to try to. I've got another week here. I'll try to contain my optimism. And I actually, in a Facebook post today, I posted that today was beginning of my last day of work, and my last week of work in Japan, and I said I like happy endings, and I realized that happy endings, after I posted it, could be taken in 2 ways, and I'm not going to reveal which was the more dominant meaning in my mind. So maybe I'll learn that Japan's teaching me one more thing, or maybe I'm deriving a little bit of an experience from, or something a little bit more to understand about Japan in the waning week. Waning week? Not even weeks. It's just it's all singular now. Singular down to the week, down to the days, down to the hour and the minute, and then it's on to something new. Thanks for listening, guys. And I recorded yet another memory, walking on Route 1. Time to close up the school. My last time to be late at school, to lock up the school tonight, and then go on home to my family. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Oh, don't forget to do your homework, have a nice bath, have a good dinner, spend some time with your people, and then get up tomorrow and make it another day. Take care. Bye-bye. Cheers. I'll see ya.